Freedom Reigns Radio Network is not responsible for the views and opinions of the guests or hosts of this show. The views and opinions expressed in this show are strictly the views and opinions of guests or hosts of this program.
Welcome, everybody, to our special Saturday broadcast of Spring into Action. That's right, the truth shall set you free, and if you're not growing your own food, you can never be free. Just always remember that. We are broadcasting live today. We have Deatra out there on location. I'll put her on the air in just a second. She's out there in the Peyton Creek Farmers meetup. If you're in that area, please go over there and check out all the vendors. She's going to be telling us what's going on, location, what's happening. We're going to interview a couple of the farmers and what kind of tricks of the trade, if you will. So exciting things happening here. Let me see if I can get back to the board. If I click the right spot, we'll be okay. Deatra, you there?
Hi, David. What a beautiful Saturday it is out here. Oh, my goodness. Right now we're somewhere in the mid-70s. A little overcast, but it's lovely, gorgeous. And there are so many people out here right now. We've got agriculture of all sorts. We've got miniature cows, we have chickens, we have hatching eggs, we have eggs to eat. We've got homemade yogurts and cheeses from goats as well as Jersey cows. We've got local plants that, for instance, some grow in one part of town but don't grow in another part of the county. And so those are being traded, swapped, and sold. We've got people who are using their own goats to make soap. Oh, my gosh, and it is so soft and smooth. I washed my hands in some earlier. I bought a bar. Oh, my gosh, I tell you what, that is probably the best stuff I've ever used. Didn't even have to put lotion on afterwards. We got somebody out here that's got horse tack of all sorts, ranging from saddles to ropes to hats, homemade jams and jellies out here. And I talked to a few people who said they would be more than happy to come on and share what they're doing. So, I mean, this is just awesome. It is great. We've got the fodder system up here on display, and we'll be talking with Lawrence here at the bottom of the hour after our break to explain how that works and what it is. Just so much here. We got some beautiful little quail over here. We're going to have some pictures too, David. I'm taking pictures also.
Looking forward to seeing all those.
Oh, yeah, we've got pictures that we're taking, and we'll be posting them up in the forum. Not sure where. We're probably going to put a new category up that'll be local events. One of the people out here is actually involved over in another town, and they are actually doing produce only. Produce and crafts. Produce and crafts, because they're indoors. And it's whatever is in season at the time. And so, oh, what a pretty goat. We've got a little brown goat. I don't know my goats very well, David. This is just a little brown goat. He's just grazing away right here.
That's a little nasty right there.
He's a little...
We bought him here a couple weeks ago. See if I can get rid of him.
Aww.
I bought him to put out there with my ram, and he runs from her.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh.
Cleaned them up. They was real wonder when we got them.
Now, what are you using actual worming medicine, or are you using, like, diatomaceous? Because diatomaceous is awesome for worming, and it's natural.
We just use that Bob and Mac marble.
Oh, okay. All right. Might want to look into the diatomaceous earth. Just put it in their feed. Oh, yeah. And we got more goats down here, David. Oh, these are pretty little gray goats, and they're mini goats. Aw. They've got long hair. They're gorgeous, David. And it looks like we have a nanny and 2 Billies.
One Billy and a wedding.
One Billy.
One Billy and a wedding.
And a wedding. Okay.
Gold one with the weather.
Weather, okay. All right. I'm still learning about goats, guys. We just got our first goat. We got a nanny goat the other day. She's had 2 kids that she had this year already, and just weaned them. So we're getting the privilege of enjoying fresh goat's milk. And I'm actually learning how to make my goat milk cheese and yogurt and stuff. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see. Oh, David, this one's right up your alley, honey.
What you got?
We have got an entire hydroponics setup out here. Yes, it is on display here. And these lovely people, according to the sign, are selling the whole setup for $200. This is nice. I like this. It's got the tanks. It's got everything in it, hon. Everything. That's right up your alley.
Yeah, absolutely. And for someone who's not so familiar with those particular systems, that is definitely the best way to go. If you can get somebody who's in your area. Now, of course, where Deatra's at right now might be a little bit distance for it and cost a little bit more to get it shipped out to you, even if that particular dealer is shipping. But look in your area if they're not. $200 is a great price, especially if it's coming with the tank, the pumps, all your piping, everything you need. You'd be surprised how little space you truly need that you can grow a ton of food in.
I mean, this person has this set up on just a little car trailer.
There you go. It doesn't take much at all.
Yeah, this trailer is not even wide enough really to hold a car, honestly. It's just a little flatbed. And, I mean, it's got everything there, hon. The whole shebang.
Yeah, there's another beautiful thing about all these kind of systems that we're going to be introducing you to today. You can make them as small or as large as you like, and you're only limited to your imagination, and that's the beautiful part about it. The system works the same way, whether you're using it in a little 3-foot area or if you're using up 300 feet of area. It's the same process. You're just adding more piping and more water to your system. You may need a couple more tanks or something to that effect. The other real popular thing, I don't know if you found anybody yet around your location down there at that farmers meet. The next new and upcoming event that's been shared a lot down here in my area in Florida, especially in the southern area of Florida, at the botanical gardens and whatnot. They've all been having at least 1 or 2 set up so you can see what's going on with the different farmers. They have the vertical grow system.
I have not seen that yet. Now, David, keep in mind, this is only the second farmers meetup here in the Leslie, Arkansas area. We're just about 3 miles south of Leslie, Arkansas right now. And, we're right off the highway, right off the main highway. So, I haven't seen that, and it's still small. But between last month and this month, I would say we have doubled in the number of people out here with various products. Be it plants, be it eggs, be it poultry, fowl. We got a miniature cow up here. And from what I know of miniature cows, they actually put out double the amount of milk per day than a full-size cow and only eat a quarter of what a full-size cow eats.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Of course, they're a little on the pricey side, so I don't have one yet. I want one.
Now, you only got a couple hundred animals at your place right now. You got to be running out of room soon.
Oh, I know. Oh, and then here we are, David. I'm at a booth where we have a couple here. They actually make rugs out of some of the things that you would think was just absolutely worthless. I mean, she's got some out here that she has made out of things such as old plastic bags, like your Walmart bags or your Dollar General bags or the kind you get at the grocery store. She's got some that were made out of old socks that, couldn't be worn anymore. She makes horse blankets too. I told her, I said, at the end of the day, I gotta get 3 of them for our horses, because I've never seen anything like this. I mean, this is a recycling like I have never seen before, and these are absolutely beautiful. I'm amazed.
It just takes a little know-how. If you're looking for ideas, get out there and visit your local farmers market, your botanical gardens. They often, especially on the weekends, they all have some sort of swap meet going on where you can get all the different distributors and farmers and ideas about these different systems and what other people are doing. Remember, if there's anything, no matter what it is, even old tires, I've seen.
Oh, you want to hear something cool, David? Sorry to interrupt you. Something else really cool. These rugs that this couple makes, some of them are out of old electric blankets too, and they've taken the wire out of the electric blanket and have actually made some of the sweetest, coolest bracelets and necklaces. I mean, this is amazing. Look at what we're saving our landfill from by doing this.
Oh, and if it turns into
it
becomes another useful product. And not only that, it's something you can do with your hands. It's something to get involved in, to get us away from the brainwashing televisions and in front of the other many electronic devices that surround our life today. It's all about getting back out into the community, getting together with families and friends and neighbors and seeing what other people are doing, getting involved with something, anything. It's healthy for you. It's economical. When it comes to your garden especially, just I was starting to talk about the tires. Nothing is garbage. Nothing is wasted. I have an old broken down lawnmower, ride-on lawnmower. I'm in the process of converting that. You can take old tires. All right, you stack four or so tires. You stuff it with some hay, and you can grow potatoes in that. Okay, that could be your potato garden. The ride-on lawnmower I have, for example. The only thing that's wrong with it is the compression shaft went bad in it, and it cost too much money to replace the camshaft, the compression shaft. So it's easier. It's actually for a couple $100 more, I can buy a brand new unit. Now my big lot, because I'm growing so much, I no longer need my ride-on anyway. Well, I'm not going to put it in a landfill or put it out to the metal shop, which of course I can probably get a couple of dollars for because of the weight on it. I'm taking the hood apart. Anything that you could put soil in, anything that you can convert into artwork, all right, and a usable artwork. Anything that can hold soil, you can grow in. And a lot of
you know what?
Yeah.
You know what, David? Something else I've noticed is people have like old nightstands or old dressers and stuff. Oh my gosh, do you have any idea the planters that you could make out of those?
Oh, it's amazing, I'm
Just
sure.
Slap a coat of paint on it so that it's not an eyesore. Line it with whatever you want. Put your dirt in. Oh my gosh, I have seen some really absolutely gorgeous gardens. People actually growing their herbs, and lettuce, spinach, things like that in dressers, in old dressers.
Anything you can put soil in, you can grow in. That's the beauty about it. And it becomes something that decorates your garden, and it helps you. Now, there's another advantage to this. Now, it's not just, okay, well, I'm cluttering up on my yard with a bunch of junk. you got to realize there's a lot of products out there. I should say not products, but a lot of plants that are what they call aggressive. Okay, they'll take over an area. So you need to grow those type of things specifically in a confined space. Now, that confined space doesn't have to be a pot, or it's anything that'll hold soil that you can grow these in. Go ahead.
Another thing, David, you were talking about your tires. You know how melon and cucumber and stuff like that will take over. If you put your heel inside the tire, lay your tire down, all you have to do is wrap the vine around the tire, and it will produce right there. And it stays contained in that area.
Absolutely.
You can do that with your potatoes, too. One of the things that I am experimenting with, I started last year, and that's actually growing potatoes in 5-gallon buckets.
Yep.
And I've got them. I was an idiot, and I didn't dump the soil or nothing last year, I've got new potatoes already coming up for this year.
Well, I'll tell you another little trick. I'll tell you another little trick with your potatoes. We always find those, especially when you find the plastic drum ones. You got those 55-gallon kind of drums. They come in all kinds of material, metal, anything like that. But especially the plastic ones. You take the plastic ones and you cut it into 3 sections, okay? Now, the beauty thing about it is, one, that gives you 3 separate growing spaces. Now, you can leave the top and the bottom attached. Right? In other words, when you cut it in half, the top's going to have, a bottom to it. And the bottom's going to have, and the other part's, and the middle part's going to be hollow. All right, you can see all the way through it. All right. You can either leave them that way, cut a couple of drain holes in there, or what I've found out is you use the center section. Okay, now you can even make it a bigger section if you want, but you give it, depending on the size of your 55-gallon drum, you take your center section and you plant your potatoes in that. Okay. Now when it's ready to harvest, all you do is grab the edge, you lift that whole cone right up, and all your potatoes fall right out on the ground and pick them right up.
Yeah. Oh, I like that one too. Now, one
real
thing,
easy. You don't have to dig for them or nothing. Just lift it up because it's a hollow tube. You lift it up. Your soil lays all down. All your potatoes come out, and that's how you harvest your potatoes.
Well, again, we'll go back to the 5-gallon buckets. A lot of people aren't aware that if they go to their bigger bakeries, even the Walmart bakeries or any of your supermarket bakeries, they buy their icing in 1 and 5-gallon buckets. And they are more than happy in most places to give those away. And what I did, because I have my mother-in-law who lives with us, and she likes pretty things. She can't get around anymore. We're lucky to get her on the patio. So, anyways, I got some of those 5-gallon buckets, and I planted things like lavender because it flowers and it smells pretty. I've got some sage because, again, it smells pretty, just different herbs. And I went down to the Dollar Tree, and most people know all the rage now is decorating with duct tape. There is duct tape of everything. I mean, I got paint splatter. I got solid different colors like a pale pink and blues, and we got zebra stripes. And I put the duct tape around the buckets. And so each bucket is different, and it's colorful. But inside of those buckets that I got for free, I've put the herbs and stuff that we'll be using throughout the year.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful thing about it.
She's got pretty flowers, and she smells good.
Yep. And the other thing, too, you got to just ask. All right, people nowadays are afraid to ask. just about anything can be utilized in your garden. Now, you're talking about duct tape. Now, here's another way. Duct tape, you got to buy it usually. Here's another way to pretty up your buckets. Go and get burlap bags. Now, there's companies all over the place. They get these burlap bags. They just throw them in the pile and they get rid of them once a year. Well, take your burlap bag. Simply take your pot, put it inside the burlap bag, fold your burlap bag over the edges. Now you got a decorative pot. You know, they're colorful. They got the advertisements on them. And you got yourself a beautiful pot. So nothing goes to waste. And not only that, the burlap allows the moisture to travel as it needs to. You know, your water will flow out of it. It'll also help maintain your moisture. The biggest problem we have in the South is heat. Okay, so you want to make sure that especially if you have a black pot, all right, to cover that pot, get it covered with something, you know, a burlap bag, anything, tape. You don't ever want to use paint. You don't want to use anything with chemicals. Don't even use those ones that say, was it OLB, non-OLB, or whatever that, you know. Don't even use that stuff. Because that chemical is going to eventually get into your soil and get into your product, into whatever you're growing. The other big mistake a lot of farmers, beginners, gardeners make, they're worried about having a pretty garden, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that. But where your expense needs to go, just a simple formula, 90% of your finance goes into the soil. 10% goes into your product. The reason that is, if you don't have the proper soil mixture, the proper base, whatever you're trying to grow will not be very successful. You may get some product off it, but you can do a lot better.
Right.
Okay? There's many different techniques to accomplish that. I wanted to go over a couple of things too. I have my list and my little shopping. I got so many shopping lists all over the place for my place here. Mind you, I only got a 1/4 acre of land. I don't have a lot of land, and my house is in the middle of this. Okay, and yet I'm utilizing like 90% of my property. I mean, I have so much crops going on right now; it's not even funny. But like we were talking about those containers, all right? You know, using the other products to maintain and keep those type of things that are going to come back constantly, and you got to really worry about possibly taking over. There's something a lot of people don't realize. There's so many what we call weedy vegetables. Now, a lot of people may not even have heard of those because you're not going to usually get those at the regular store. Weedy vegetables are great because they grow just like a weed. And they taste great. Okay, they all come in different kinds of flavors and tastes. And this is something that you'll always have food. Especially if you're a salad person, you're gonna have all the greens you can possibly eat. Okay.
Oh, that's
and just a short list. Yeah, just a short list I have here. These are the ones that I'm putting into mine. Now again, excuse me, you have to be careful with these because they are a weed in the aspect of not only are they going to keep coming back constantly, they're going to overtake anything. You know, wherever you put them, they can overtake if you don't want to, you know, so you got to keep cutting them back or put them in some kind of container. But they have things what's known as such as lamb's quarters. Now, that's actually a type of spinach. Okay, it's great in your garden. And you can eat that all day long. Just pick the hell out of it. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. All these do this, all right? Arugula, another great one. Yeah, you know, you just go along your garden. As I'm going along and working in my garden, I'm just picking leaves off and eating all day long while I'm out there.
Oh, I do. I know. I do the same thing.
You know, and the greens, a lot of people bypass. They bypass the best part of the plant. Okay, you're growing onions and radishes and all. You'd be surprised once you start eating the greens. You might end up liking the greens better than you like the onion itself. The green stems constantly grow up. I trim them all day long and chew on them and eat them all day long. Cut them up, put them in your recipes. You don't need an onion. There's more onion flavor and there's more probably nutrients and all in the green part of your vegetable compared to the vegetable itself. Now, the only exception is your tomato plants. You don't want to, you can in small quantities, but you don't want to eat tomato leaves. Okay, a high quality quantity of tomato leaves will make you sick. Same with potatoes. They both have the same chemical product in the leaf part. So you don't want too much of that in your diet. Walking stick Callie. The kale is great.
Oh, kale is awesome.
Yeah, there's many different species of kale. You can live off of greens forever with just 3 or 4 plants. You'll have enough greens and a variety of tastes and flavors. That's all you need for the beginning gardener. Okay, but yeah, look at the walking sticks, the wakate. All right, if you can look that one up, that's one you're going to have to look up. Like I said, a lot of these you're not going to get at your local. You may have to get to a nursery, or you may have to order these. But the wakate.
Well, David?
Yeah.
David, that's where we have the swap shop in place.
Exactly.
Because I probably have things here that people can't get in other parts of the country that we're growing that I could easily ship. Or, like for myself, a native plant here in Arkansas that is really, really, really great at repelling ticks, I have not been able to get. It has actually been killed off, and that's pennyroyal. Everybody that I know that has been out here for a number of years swears by the pennyroyal.
Yeah.
For ticks. And I need some of that, and I can't find it. So, you know, we've got tons. Yep.
Things like that you got to put on the wanted list of our swap shop. If you go to our web page, that's www.springintaaction.us. Look at our swap shops. You'll see the different categories, and there's a wanted. So make sure you add that to the wanted list, and we'll see if we can't find somebody to get that for you. A lot of people also don't realize is when your plants, let them go to flower. The flower is edible, folks. Okay? The flowers are edible. There's a bunch of edible flowers that grow wild around your garden. You don't even realize. Most people think it's a weed, it's garbage, throw it away. Dandelions. They have a wonderful floral taste. Magnolia. There's tons and tons of flower species that are very edible. They taste fantastic, especially in your recipes and just in a salad, or just picked fresh off the plant and eat them all day long. That's what I do. But yeah, but again, like your dandelions and certain things like that, they do have a tendency to take over. So it's up to you whether or not, you want a neat, clean garden, so you want to get one of these other type of plants or anything that will hold soil and grow in there. Now, of course, your dandelions, you want them, they seed by nature. When they go to that white thing, you blow on it. Next thing you know, next year you're going to have a whole bunch of dandelions all over your yard. That's okay. It's food, folks. It's food. Your plants, your flowers, in between your regular vegetables and stuff, plant some of these flowers, especially like magnolias and stuff. You want to plant these. They deter the bugs. They help with your insects. They help with your soil. They don't harm your vegetables at all, and they're edible. Okay?
Oh,
remember,
gosh.
It may be a weed. It may be a flower, but it's edible. And you'd be surprised the amazing flavors. I got a couple more here on my list. Let me run through real quick. Buckhorn plantains. Okay, the plantains, the buckhorn. And now this one you got to make sure you get the edible, because there's one that's edible, one is not, and that's chrysanthemums. Okay, there's edible chrysanthemums out there. They taste wonderful. Chickweed, another one. But now again, this one, be careful with. Make sure you got it in a bucket or something, because it will take over. These are all categories.
Yes, we've got that growing wild, David. We have that growing wild on our land.
That's beautiful stuff. You just pick those all day long, make a salad out of it, snack on them all day while you're out in the garden. Beautiful stuff. There's another thing. You have to look it up. I don't have the technical name written down, but it's known as miner's lettuce. Right now, it's called miner's lettuce because back in the day, that was the type of lettuce that the miners used to grow and live off of, because it's a weed. It would just constantly be there, and that's what they would have make their salads and stuff out of. And you can get that today. There is a technical name for all these. I do not have the technical names written down. Bronze fennel, okay, another one. Matter of fact, I think the bronze fennel is the one that tastes like is either chocolate or licorice. Okay, these things all have great flavor, guys. And the last one on my list that I need that I'm looking to get up is the red vine sorrow. But those are just weedy vegetables, all right? Now, now, on a couple of my other sides on my list here I'm looking at to get for my little lot. Now, this is a tree, okay? It's amazing fruit. You don't see it too often. People have probably never seen it unless they've been around it, and it's called the jackfruit tree. Now, I don't know if you ever heard that. Actually, people think that was named from the Juicy Fruit Company, but it's not. Juicy Fruit actually named their product, their candy, from the jackfruit tree. All right?
Okay.
Those fruits grow. They can grow so big that one fruit can weigh 100 pounds.
Wow.
Okay.
And
it tastes like candy. It's amazing. Beautiful stuff. It's more on the tropical side. You got to be in a warmer climates for it. If you are in a climate, it doesn't get too much of a freeze though. As long as you can protect it when it's young, it'll do fine. Another great product to get is also, I put it under the tree category, is the Okinawan spinach. All right. Look up some of that great stuff. Now, the Hopkins Tree Company, they have all your tropicals that you can think of. You can look them up. They don't ship. You got to find out what distributors in your area that they can ship directly. But I'm looking at, and a couple of these you can actually get at your regular, like Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. Mysore, M-Y-S-O-R-E, raspberries, the muscadine grapes, all right, and
muscadine. Yeah, muscadine. We have muscadine grapes that we can pull the seeds from and start plants to sell.
Yeah. Do you have the grand one as well? It's called Grand
we do.
or Mixed or something it's called. And it's got multiple.
Yep, we do.
Oh, awesome. I got to get a couple of those for myself here yet. That's on my list to get. Cherry of Rio Grande. Now, that's something, it's not a cherry.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's called Cherry of Rio Grande. It's one I got to look up. I caught it off while watching other things, and I caught that, and I was like, that looked, looked inspiring, if nothing. So I got to check that out. So I'm getting that. Of course, tree collards, get your collards, and chocolate mint, and that finishes up my list. Those are the things that I still need to get. Those are the things I'm still looking to get in my garden, on top of the other, 80 products I got growing right now around my little quarter acre. So yeah, there's another one.
David, we got something else. We got something else that grows wild here that I kid you not is absolutely awesome for bronchial, and you use it as a tea. You make a tea out of it, and that's mullein.
Oh, cool.
We have a lot of that, so if there's anybody looking for mullein, I'd be happy to go and harvest it and dry it for you so that you guys can make it into a tea. But, I mean, that stuff, I've used it. Lawrence has used it. I've used it with my kids, and it works. It works really, really good. So I just want to put that out there.
There's a whole list of medicinal type plants as well that are edible. Your different greens and all, and different. It's all about getting back to nature, getting off of this chemical crap they've been feeding us forever, getting away from these vaccines. Please, if you're still vaccinating your kids, get away from that. Oh, please stop doing that. You're killing kids. All right.
No kidding. Oh, I know.
Stop doing that. Not to go, just go off topic there for a minute, but get back to nature, folks. That's what it's all about. And remember, the economy's not great. Food prices are going through the roof. And no matter if you're in a little one-bedroom apartment, there's nothing, that is stopping you from growing some sort of food. Everything from your herbs, is in a 5-gallon bucket. Your tomatoes in a 5-gallon bucket. Cucumbers. I mean, just about everything you could think of, you can grow in a 5-gallon pail, and you can get them free usually, or just go to any hardware store to get them for $1. All right, and you'll be surprised. That's probably the most versatile dollar you can ever spend. That $1 you spend on that 5-gallon pail, it's not just for water, folks, okay? You'll be amazed the amount of uses you can come up with just for a 5-gallon pail. You get 3 or 4 out there on your balcony. A lot of these products, some of them do require a little bit more sun than others. Always check. And find out what's local in your area, especially on these weeds and stuff. Every climate, every growing zone, and your zones go from 1 to 10 on average, you have specific plants that will grow for that area. The thing to keep in mind is it doesn't, even if it's designed for a different area. All right, let's say you're trying to grow some tropical items, all right, like a southern plant, and you're in the north. That's okay. There's a way around that. You can bring it indoors when the weather gets cold. You can have a greenhouse, and that we can cover in another show. There are many different ways, real cheap. For a couple $100, you'd be surprised what you can do. Okay, it doesn't take and that's if you wanted to buy a kit. If you want to do it yourself, hell, you can do it for pennies. Because you'd be surprised. Most of the material you can get for free.
You just got to open your mouth and ask.
Yeah, we talked about that hydroponic system. Any kind of vertical grow system or anything, you'd be surprised. You got a vacant wall. You have a chain link fence up. You'd be surprised what you can grow around that. Grow your your peppers, your anything that'll climb. You can put on that fence. You can make your own. Go buy old pallets. You don't have to buy them; they'll give it to you. If you got a trailer and you got a place that's got pallets later on, hey, you might have can I take some of these? No, help yourself. They usually pay to get rid of them. Take all that wood with you. You break them down. You reconvert them, or you don't even have to break them down a lot, and you could stand that up. And that could be a vertical grow wall. All right. And you'd be surprised you can grow off of one pallet standing straight up on end. Okay, that little area, you don't take that much room. You can make enough food, to last you all year. Go ahead.
We have passed the bottom of the hour here, my dear. And I would like to go ahead and go to break for a minute. But when we come back, I would like to have a first interview with one of the vendors out here. We're talking about chemicals and stuff earlier. Well, I got to thinking about this, and I'm going, everybody talks about free range. Well, how healthy is our free range with all the chemtrails that are being dropped, or the counties that are out spraying pesticides to control mosquitoes, for instance? How healthy is it really? And we have somebody out here demonstrating what is called the fodder system, which is done in an enclosed area. We use it. We have cut our feed bill down from approximately $500 a month to between $80 and $120 a month. And our animals are growing faster. They're healthier. It's just been awesome. But I'd like to go ahead and get him interviewed here and let you talk to him regarding that after the break.
You got it.
All right, that sounds great. Well, we must remind everybody we are broadcasting on location at the Peyton Creek Farmers Meetup. It is the second event, and we are approximately 3 miles south of Leslie, Arkansas. So with that, David, take it away, hon.
You got it. All right, guys, we're going to take a brief break here. And when we come back, we're going to get to that interview along with several others and find out what else is going on around the market. We're back live from the Peyton Farmers Swap. Peyton Creek, right?
Yeah, Peyton Creek out. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, I'm here, hon.
Okay. I got 270 live as well. I believe that's our interview line. You have one of our...
Yes, that is our interview line, honey.
Yes,
we are live here at we are at the live Peyton Creek Farmers Meetup, just 3 miles south of Leslie, Arkansas. And as I said, David, I was talking to you about just the cutting back from $500 a month in animal feed down to between 80 and 120 a month for us. And well, as you know, we've got a monstrous amount of mouths to feed. And we have Lawrence out here who is actually displaying a fodder system, and he is on the line, and he is ready to be interviewed because I know you've read what we've posted so far.
Hey,
hi, David.
How you doing, Lawrence? I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Good.
How you been?
Yep, it's been a while, David. We're doing good, keeping busy, believe me.
All that.
A lot going on here.
Hey, I got tons of questions. I did read over, and I read on air the description you guys posted over on our website. If you haven't been there yet, please shoot on over and join us at the springintooaction.us. We always have our chat room going. It's also links so you can get to the live shows as well as the archives and our YouTube channel, and lots of things going on and happening. We still may have a couple issues once in a while. It is a new website for us, so please check it out. Let us know what you think. I read over the description. It seems really simple to do.
It really is, David. It's not rocket science. There's just a few basics, and so I'll just let you kind of ask the questions, whatever you think here. But it's really amazing when you look at all the pros here. The only real negative is if you take care of things right, it's just a slight bit more labor intensive. But as the operation gets bigger, for bigger farmers that want to save a lot and have a whole lot healthier animals and livestock, and a lot better production, whether it's meat, milk, eggs, you name it, increased birth rates, better mortality rates and everything, even for rabbits even. The pluses on this is just mind-blowing. We've been kind of kept in the dark here in this country. It's just beginning to get out and catching on a little bit, But the thing is, other countries like Australia and New Zealand, a lot of areas in Europe, this has been big for a long time. But Big Ag and things have tried to keep us dependent upon them so they can get more and more control. And what this is about is, especially for the small farmer, it can liberate them and put a lot more money in their pocket, better sales, better production. It's just the only way to go as I see it.
That's excellent. Now, you do you or do you not have to, I guess, because my main focus now is I'm learning all I can on the chicken side of things, which you guys are helping me out with, and I'll be ready for my chicks hopefully by next spring. We'll be ready for them.
Right.
Still getting everything set up here. Like I said, my little quarter acre has turned into a mini farm here, just minus the animals so far, other than my dogs.
Yep.
But do you have to substitute your it's barley you're growing, correct?
Yes.
All right. Do you have to
barley is I pretty much settled on the barley. You can use wheat, rye, oats, whatever you want. Barley has the best growth rate, the best nutritional values overall, and it's one of the easiest to grow. It's a little more expensive, but it pretty much makes up for it in the production.
Yeah, I noticed that from the description, how quickly it really does grow, and that's amazing. Makes it easy, especially if you have a large amount of animals to maintain. My question is, do you have to substitute that with the diet as well?
On poultry, no.
Okay.
You don't really, on your ruminants like cattle and sheep, goats, and horses, the thing there, they have to have roughage. But the thing is, instead of having to buy top dollar alfalfa to try to get them nutrition in the hay, you can use some operations or just even using straw. Anything, low quality hay, to provide them the roughage they need for their digestive system is all they have to have. So you can cut way back there because they're getting all the nutrition in the fodder. You're going from 25 to 30% in grain to, on average, about 90% of digestibility with the fodder, and they eat everything. There's no waste. So there's just, it's just incredible, you know. Plus your meat. Well, let me give you an example, David. I'm jumping a little bit, maybe perhaps, but in tests that were done with beef cattle, side-by-side test lots, in a given amount of time, I think it was 3 months, but don't quote me, the weight gain on the beef cattle was 41% greater. The money they saved was like, overall, on all things considered, was like 30%, 30 to 35% or so. And that's a big increase. And a lot higher quality meat. We're getting top dollar meat. It's a lot more nutritious and healthy because it's a lot higher content of your fat, omega-3s in the meat. So it's a lot healthier to eat, a lot more tender. And it's just the way across the board with everything that's done. You've got dairy milk herds are going up like on average 20 to 25% in production. Their butterfat content is going up 12 to 16%. Egg production is better. With rabbits, you're getting lower mortality, higher number of litters, quantity of rabbits per year per doe. Plus, you're getting much better weight gains for the same amount of feed. So every way you look, this is just incredible. The small farmers need this bad.
Even the big farmers can benefit from many of these types of systems. It's a lot of people have the misconception that these systems are like, well, this is something new. You know, we've been farming in this country for hundreds and hundreds of years. What people don't understand, especially even the big farmers, and they're finally, after all these hundreds of years, they're finally starting to get it. They're finally starting to understand that we're not actually trying to change the old ways. We're actually bringing the old ways even further back in time, okay? Mm-hmm. Back before we turned over the land and destroyed our soils. And a perfect example of that, the dust bowls, the droughts, the feed productions. It's bad enough that you're using the chemicals. Now let's forget all that, even on the commercial side. Forget about all the chemicals and the GMO stuff that's involved. You're tilling over your land. You're turning it over. You have to worry about rotation of crops. In nature, does nature turn its land before it grows? No. Does it rotate its crops? No. Do you ever walk through a bare forest? No. Unless it's a desert, okay? A forest produces. Well, why does it produce? And it produces beautifully, okay? It's getting back to nature. Yeah, we're here. It's getting back to nature, and that's what it's all about, folks. You don't have to destroy the land to make it produce. In fact, by doing that, you're causing more harm, not only to the land itself, but to your product that you're trying to grow in the end. And that's another system that we talk about here as well. But let's get back to the father system with Lawrence. Go ahead.
David, if I'm correct, and I'll let Lawrence answer this, but I do believe that there is no soil involved in growing the fodder, as well as big savings, huge savings on water.
Right.
That's a big plus.
You can have the equivalent of a pasture-grown animal or free-range animal, better nutrition than they can get from grazing because of the extra nutrition that's in the root mat that they thoroughly eat up. You can have a higher quality, more nutritious meat quality from an animal you're raising the fodder. You don't have to have near the pasture that's taken up in have it raising your livestock, and be completely the equivalent of free range or organically grown. It's very amazing. On the seed here, in case I can't remember if I mentioned it, but you're looking at a system here, seed to feed in 6 to 8 days. Many of the commercial systems out there are doing it in 6 days, but they they have everything exactly perfect. You've got a lot more investment. But what we're seeing here is on average at 8 days, seed to feed in 8 days. It's very conservative on the water usage compared to what it would have to grow to the same thing in soil out in the fields, you know. And it's just, it's wonderful. All you have to do is figure out how much feed you want per day. We have 2 trays. Each tray produces about 30 pounds on average. So we're running 2 trays a day, 16-tray operation. And it just continually cycles 365 days a year.
Now, how do you go about getting your seed? In other words, if you guys are doing barley, so let's stick with that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you let, let's say, one of your trays go to seed so you can harvest the seed for the following year's crop? Or haven't you gotten to that stage yet?
We don't do it that way. Here's the thing, you still have to buy the grain. But every pound of seed, David, is producing 8 to 10 pounds of feed. And the feed ratio is the same. If you feed a pound of grain to your animal, they're getting 25 to 30 % of digestibility out of it. You spend this little bit of time here in water, and that's it. You take that same pound of seed, of grain, and you're getting 8 to 10 pounds of feed that you feed the same ratio, pound to pound. If the animal eats 10 pounds a day, you feed 10 pounds of fodder. So you're actually using 1/8 to 1/10 as much grain to feed the animal, a lot higher nutritional quality. So there's no way you can lose at this. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And with the way the prices of things are, a 30% on average savings or increase around the board adds up, especially for the larger farmer, can add up into the millions of dollars worth of savings easily.
You better believe it.
The
other countries are so far ahead of us. You take Australia. You've got operations here that are set up in totally automated and enclosed, like in a cargo trailer. And they feed one in and it comes out the other in 8 days, you see, and in container systems. And some of these places are putting out 20 tons a day of fodder. And with we've got stuff, you've heard about I'm sure you probably know, David, that there's certain ones that are working towards quickly be taking over pretty much all the water in the country and around the world. In some places they're already doing it, and water is going to be one of the controlling factors in the coming years. And this, you're looking at a fraction of the water. I think up in Delaware, I believe it is, they're already charging the people in one county for their runoff water. Charging them pretty doggone big, too, by the way, because of their runoff water that's wasted. They give an estimate and send them a bill. You either pay it or you lose your land. So
that's been a big issue. It's
not going good.
It's been a big issue for a long time, especially with the South being in such a drought state for the last couple of years. Crops have really been hurting, and the big farmers need to wake up to this. Especially with the water issue, they're starting not only to charge you for your runoffs, but they estimate now that they go in and see the size of your farm, what you're growing, so on and so forth, and they give you a flat fee every year what you charge, and that's just a water charge. Why?
Right.
First of all, it's none of the government's business what you do. I understand, the EPA watching water and things like that, but I mean they really have overreached, in my opinion, Big Brother, whoever you want to blame it on, that's behind this. And we can correct this. We can counteract it by doing things a little bit differently. And the improvement overall is amazing with these systems. Now, that fodder system, you're doing barley, you can use that same system, I'm sure, to grow many other things as well, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You could just improvise a little bit different. You could do all kind of things here. Basically, it's just a hydroponic system that's set up. We have a let's see, what is it? A 12-tray system and an 8-tray system, side by side. And we have a tank at the bottom. The pump pumps it up to the top trays, It floods the grain, which helps keep any possible mold and mildew down. And they run down, they drain into the trays below it, 4 shelves of trays, and then it drains back into the system. And this is set up on timers so that it 4 to 5 times a day max, but we're set up on 4 right now, that 4 times a day, the timer kicks it on, the little pump on, and pumps it up and floods the systems, all the trays automatically. So it's very when it's just a little bit put into automation here, you get tremendous benefits, and it's not labor intensive that way, and it's not expensive either. So it makes it very easy. So
now,
go ahead.
Depending on the size of your system is how large of a tank you would need. And as of day, with your particular system that you have set up, how much water have you found that you've had to add to the tank? You know, once it's set up and running, you're going to lose water to evaporation and, of course, plant absorption.
Right.
How much are you adding to your system on average for that? And you guys have a very large system. Like I said, you have a 12 and an 8, so you have 20 trays out.
Yes.
So you have a fairly large system.
Let's take on the 8-tray system. I've got a big plastic tote. You know, it cost me $20 to set under there, okay? And I never fill it up. I run maybe 20 gallons in there initially, and it doesn't take more than 2 or 3 gallons of water additional with what I put in there from what I start with. It just doesn't take that much, really.
Right, and that 2 or 3 gallons, is that weekly, monthly?
No. See, here's the thing. You do have to empty the water. The first 3 days that the barley is sprouting, you've got a lot of carbohydrates washing out. So after 3 days, we change the water, because after that the plant has sprouted and the plants are taking up just the feed-in light. You don't have to artificially light or anything, but it's pretty much the free starch is washed out, so you don't get much problems with the water after the first 3 days. So I'll put that back in there. After 3 full days, on the 4th day, we'll change that out and put fresh water in, and then that will finish those plants out and do the next 3 days on the next round. So, you know, you've got some loss there on a half a cycle, so to speak. And then after that, you're looking at to produce basically 900 pounds of feed, right at almost half a ton of feed, right at 1,000 actually, on this 8-tray system. You're looking at, on average, the usage of about 30 gallons of water.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And that's what it's about, folks. Now, you could take the hydroponic systems, such as the Botter and other hydroponic designs, and you can add a little bit of twist to that. And that's when you just add your fish population to it, and it turns into an aquaponic system. Now, the advantage with adding your fish to it, not only are you getting all the nutrients from the fish being pumped into your plants, your fish also will clean out all the impurities that are coming back down from your plants into your tank, and you wouldn't have to change that tank quite as often.
Right.
Just
the only thing here you have to be aware of is that, you know, you have a very high starch content on that change out, and in fact, if you let it go to day 5, it'll smell like a brewery. You just sit there and you can almost get drunk off of just smelling it. So you don't want to go over, on your 4th day you want to change it. And you can take that water, you can run it to your garden. If you've got pigs or other animals that you mix feed and stuff with or anything like that, of course you can feed fodder straight to the pigs, but they still need water. Well, you can take that water and feed to the pigs, and they're getting nutrition out of that too. So there's all kind of things to do here, all kind of things.
And this is the beauty about it. What you find out when you get into gardening and doing things back to nature way, if you will, and utilizing it, you're going to find that nothing is wasted, and that's the beauty about it. Now, with a lot of plants, we went into the greens and stuff earlier, you find out that there's people waste so much because they just don't, lack of knowledge, lack of education. That's what we're here to help you with.
Mm-hmm.
Is waste.
Well, David, going back to the water issue here, you show me anybody that can take and grow this barley outside and sprout it in soil, and in good soil even. And unless you're very blessed with the way weather has become so erratic and everything, and you try to grow that, out on soil in an open area, and odds are there's no way you're going to grow a half a ton of barley out of this without watering it. A lot more than 30, 40 gallons, you know what I'm saying? 30, 35 gallons. It's going to take a lot more water.
Absolutely, and right now that's a big issue. Like you said, people are being charged up the wazoo there for all kinds of things relating to your water. So anything that you can do that's going to save that water, that's going to make it work for you, and that's what your garden's supposed to do, folks. You out there and you enjoy it and let nature work for you. Don't work it; it'll work for you. Our biggest problem, the biggest problem in anybody's garden, quite frankly, is us. It's our interference with nature. Nature will do it on its own. It doesn't need your help. All right. Now, there is times here and there that, you may have an insect issue that you may have to correct, or, minor issues like that. But for the most part, what destroys people's everyday average gardens is us. Leave it alone.
You got it.
Leave it alone.
Yep.
Once you have your, remember, when you're doing this initially, your expense, now unless you're using a type of system like the fodder and other hydroponics or aquaponic systems that are what we consider kind of closed systems, all right? Very little water, very little maintenance. If you're doing a garden, sun's back. I hear all the animals winds out there. There we go. If you're doing something in the ground, whether it's in the ground or raised bed bins, which I highly recommend, this way you don't even mess with the ground itself. We'll get into, in other shows, we'll also talk about the back project, the way I've been doing. I got my back half of my yard in the back to eat style, and then I got my other half of the yard done in the old-fashioned, till it over, add the soil, pull the weeds, and, all that extra work, just as a comparison between the two. But your expense goes into, and we mentioned this earlier in the show, 90% of your finances should go into your soil when you're first starting out. 90% of your budget go into soil, because until you have the proper soil, unless you're doing a hydroponic type system, if you're doing soil, you've got to put your money into your soil, or else nothing's going to work. Put your money there, the rest will pay for itself, But this is great. I'm glad you guys are having such a fantastic time down there. I think it's wonderful. A lot of these systems, they're easy to do. They can be done anywhere. Is there anything off the top of your head that we may be missing, or we have left out, Lawrence?
Well, as far as the operation of it goes, it's just very, like I said, it's very simple. You figure out how much feed you need in a day, and you put the trays that are required to make that amount of feed into production each day. So if you use 2 trays like us a day, then you're going to want a 16 tray system, and the rest of it will take care of itself. It's not labor intensive. Some people think there's so much work involved, but what you do is you take the amount of seed that you're going to sprout, put in to start the next day. The evening before, you'll wash it real good once, and then you'll put that seed, we do in a double 5-gallon bucket with holes in the inner bucket, and you let it soak overnight. The next morning, we empty the 2 trays. We just roll the mat out and empty the 2 trays. Do a quick rinse of the tray, and put the seed into each tray that we've already pre-measured and soaked overnight. And on day 2, you've got beautiful little root sprouts all over like hair on a dog's back, and 6 days later, you've got 6 to 8 inch between the mat and the green growth, you got 7-8 inches generally, and it'll weigh 8 to 10 times more than the seed that you put in. So it's all good, and it's, like I said, 90% digestible, high in vitamins and nutrients that make the animals healthy. One hog operation has been doing this for 3 years. The lady that runs that, she's kept records of all of this, and she says she has cut her vet bill by 98%. Now, vet bills is one in commercial operations because of sick animals. It's a very big expense in commercial operations. When you can cut your vet bill by 90 to 95%, that's money in your pocket.
That's a beautiful thing. It's amazing how these systems not only are more healthier, they produce a better product, they produce more of a product at a lot less of the expense, and the added benefits.
Healthier product.
Oh, everywhere around. I mean, not only the animals benefit, you benefit, the farmers and the grow. Everybody. It's nothing but win, win, win. There's no negative, folks, to all these systems that we talk about, and that's the beauty about all this. There's never a negative. You know, less labor intensive.
We'll be having.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's awesome. So we'll be having over the next week. We'll be having a lot more information, a lot more pictures up there of our systems, and daily pictures of daily growth rates and stuff like this, and how it produces. So stats and figures and more information generally. So, you know, it's not just about only about what we get out of it individually and our animals, but it's also about the earth, because you're saving a lot of water to produce the same amount of feed compared to what's taken up outgrowing in the fields. Healthier animals, less pollution. So you're getting even down to trucking. You know, if everybody was doing this, you use half the much more than half. You know, you use 60 to 70% less grain that have to be shipped and freighted from all over, everywhere, all the time to feed the animals, because the farmers can have one big shipment in, you know, and make it go 8 to 10 times further. So it's benefiting the earth in so many ways too. It's just unreal.
It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing you guys have put together out there. Like you said, it's only the second showing out there, and you can hear how much activity and how much is going on, and the people are just opening up, and people that are into farming and gardening of any kind, whether you're doing regular crops or animals, just like I tell people all these years, talk to your seniors. They would love to talk and share their knowledge with you. You know, and that's what it's about. If you don't ask, you're not going to learn. And you can only learn so much out of a book, folks, until you get out there and get your hands dirty and your hands in the soil and start messing with some of these things. It's fun. It's an experiment. You know, I sit there with my crops and stuff, and I don't know what's going to work together, what's not. I mean, I have things that are all nice and rode up and nice and all that. Then I got other sections and patches where I just took all the seeds I had, no matter what they were, and just threw them out there. Let's see what happens. Just throw them out there. Let's see what's going to take off, what's not. I have what they call a salad seed pack I bought. It's got like 14 different varieties of lettuces and stuff in there. Now, usually your lettuces are cold weather, or cooler weather kind of crop. So I know I'm not really worried about it. But for $1 and change, I got this pack for. I took half the pack, and I just took it, and that half a pack must have been a couple of thousands of seeds that has been in this thing. It's a big package. It ain't no little package. I took half the pack, and I just threw it all over the place. Oh, let me see what happens. I might just have lettuce growing everywhere in my yard. I don't know.
There you go.
But, you got to have fun with it. Let nature do its thing. Yeah, you feed the birds, throw the seeds out there. What takes, great. What don't, who cares? It was only $1, But this is the way you got to look at your garden. And if anything does grow out of it, I'm going to get more than, if one thing out of those 500 seeds I threw out there for $1, it's going to cost you $1 to go buy a head of lettuce in the store. and it's full of chemicals, full of garbage. You know, you don't want that. It's got no flavor. So if I get one or two type of edible lettuce plants or something out of my garden from that $1, it paid for itself, and that's what it's all about, you know. And it has fun. You have fun doing it.
You bet. David, I'm going to have to get out of here. I've got to go for now, and I would only say encourage small farmers to look into this, because this can mean the difference in them making it and being healthy and profitable and failing, which is what is being, you know, the big effort is to go to big ag and big corporations. And our little farmer is struggling just to get by. Well, this is their answer. This is their answer right here. And so I encourage the small farmers to look into this and get the word out. You can do it, believe me. So I'm going to go, and you take care, and hope to talk with you all soon and again. And just go to our website and look into it. And if you got questions or anything like that, we'll be having more and more information up there, and we'll try to answer your questions and help people get this going.
Fantastic. Lawrence, thanks for your time. Enjoy your day out there.
My pleasure.
Sounds like everybody's got a beautiful day, and everybody's having a lot of fun. We look forward to hearing from you again.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, David.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Lawrence.
Thank you.
How are we doing there, Deatra?
Yeah, we're doing awesome here. Sorry, I know I got feedback. I got to put the other phone in my pocket.
That's all right. I muted the other line.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I thought maybe what we could do next is move down to this one lady I was telling you guys about, where they are making rugs and horse blankets and paw holders and hot pads and everything else, jewelry, I mean, just all kinds of stuff from recycled products. And so I'd like to go ahead, if that's all right with you, David, and I would like to put Susie online.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, and she is with Handcrafted in the Ozarks. And I saw this, David, and I just went nuts. So I want to let her go ahead and just describe some of what she does and how she does it. And we're going to put some pictures of her work up on our website as well.
Fantastic. Susie, you there?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Susie. Great to meet you. I'm David. So excited you can join us today.
Yeah, well, this is a nice little place to set up.
Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it and have such a beautiful day for it. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Do you have a website that people can go and check out, or no?
No, we don't have that as yet. You know, I'm not even sure if I want to mess with that, but we do set up in a few places.
Oh, that's great. How did you get into this?
Well, my husband used to volunteer at a place called Dorcas in Mountain View, and they taught him how to make the rag rugs. A lady there did. And we bought the loom from her, and we've been doing it basically since then. We stopped for a little while, but then we got back into it.
It sounds like it's a real fun project to do as well.
It's fun, yes.
Susie, how long would you say it takes you to make a blanket? Or, a rug? Yes.
Well, it depends. If we've already got the material cut and the loom works, about an hour and a half, 2 hours max.
Oh, wow.
I can make one. I'm making
awesome.
runners now. They take longer.
Mhm. Now, what? I noticed some of the rugs and the horse blankets I've noticed are made out of different materials. And the one that really, really intrigues me is the one that you've made out of old, like Walmart bags, so the plastic sacks that we get at grocery stores. I mean, how do you get it to feel just like actual rug? I mean, this feels just like a material.
They're made on an antique Union custom loom, and by the time we're through weaving them, they do kind of feel like a rug, you know. they feel kind of smooth.
Mhm.
You know, of course, all the rest of the rugs we make, the denim and the cotton and the blanket rugs and saddle blankets and stuff, you know.
Wow.
They're made on the same loom.
Wow.
We can even make pot holders on the same loom.
Wow. Yes, I've just been admiring your work all day long, and I cannot wait to get people up, get pictures up on our website so they can see this work. I mean, this is fabulous. And just an absolutely tremendous way to save our Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we even make rugs out of old socks.
David, did you have any more questions for Susie?
No, I'm just so excited. It sounds like a lot of fun. I hope I can cross somebody in my area that's doing something similar just so I can see it myself, and I look forward to seeing all the pictures of what she's got going on there. It's great. And I wish you a lot of luck and a lot of fun with everything you're doing there, Susan.
After we're finished with this broadcast, we'll see if I can't get Susie to let us put some contact info so that others will be able to purchase some of these. I mean,
that'd be great.
This is fabulous. So, all right, and Susie, I want to thank you. I appreciate your interviewing.
Okay, not a problem. And y'all have a good day.
You too, Susie. Enjoy.
Okay, bye.
Okay, David. Do you want to go for a break real quick? Because I've got to walk down just a little ways further. We can play a song or what, and then we will be interviewing, I believe the gentleman's name is Keith, and he has got all kinds of plants for us.
Wow. Yeah, that's we don't have to play a song. We can just keep going. What else are you passing as you're going along that you're seeing?
Oh, my gosh. There's rabbits and chickens, and we got a lady here she's got some eggs. And, she's got some beautiful Muscovy ducks. As a matter of fact, I already told her I'm taking one, so she only gets to sell one. Let's see. What else we got? We got some quail down here. Beautiful quail. Oh, they're gorgeous. We're passing that aquaponics section again here. Okay, the gentleman we're going to interview looks like he might be a little bit busy at the moment. So we don't want to interrupt him. It is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Let's see. He's got probably, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got about 7 customers right there with him right now. 7 people browsing, and they're talking about the plants. And
well, is there like tags and stuff on the plants? You can read us a couple of what he has there. And
Yeah. Let me do that. These, let's see. Well, he's got some orchids, too, but, of course, those are not for sale. Let's see. I can't read some of these. Let's see. What do we have down here? Oh, he's got some Japanese iris. That's flowers, of course. They have some thornless blackberries.
Ooh.
And if they're the thornless blackberries I'm thinking of, oh my goodness, they produce huge berries. If you go to the store to make, to get stuff to make jam and what, if these are the same type of huge berries, you only need like half of what you would buy at the store. Let's see.
And what are those called? Thorns? Thorn-free?
Thornless blackberries. And I had looked them up online, actually, and they were quite expensive for good ones. Good organic ones.
Now, are these, I guess I'd have to ask him. You may know, though, what type, is this something that keeps producing, it comes back every year, produces a crop? Is it a tree, a bush? How tall did he usually grow?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one we'll have to ask him. I've got some in my yard, but I just put mine in, so I don't know a whole lot. Let's see. Here we got another plant. I don't know what it is, but it's called Helleborus. Helleborus. I don't know what that one is.
Huh.
Oh, and of course he's got chives. That's a big one. Got to have chives. Everybody does. Here he's got another, I don't know what it is, but it's a flower. It says balloon flower. And there's just all kinds of stuff. I'm just reaching in his trailer here and trying to look at what I can reach because I'm so short. I don't want to climb up on his trailer, you know.
Right.
But oh man, there's just all kinds of really neat things here.
Now, how long ago did you plant your blackberries?
I planted mine actually in, what was it, end of February, I believe. And they're green. I started them out in buckets, and we put hay around the top of them to help keep them warm and everything.
Right.
And these were cuttings from somebody else's blackberries. And mine right now are probably taller than me, and I'm 5 feet tall.
Wow.
Mhm. Yep. So I am.
Have they started to produce
totally
for you yet?
excited. You know, I haven't gone down there to actually look yet, but they're supposed to produce here by the end of next month.
Excellent.
And that's what I was told by the guy I got them from. And so let's see. Are you ready to interview? Okay, all right.
Sure.
I didn't want to interrupt you. I know y'all were trading gardening secrets here. So phone's already on, and your name was Keith, right?
Jeff.
Jeff, I'm so sorry. Okay, Jeff is here at the farmers meetup here just south of Leslie, Arkansas at Peyton Creek. And he's got tons and tons and tons of plants and is very active in community. And I'd like to just kind of let Jeff tell us, you know, what he does and you know, how it's improved his life and his community and all that good stuff.
Well, thank you. I've just always loved plants, and so it's easy for me to get involved in plants and do lots of plantings at home. One of the things that always impressed me when I lived in the city is how disconnected it is. People sort of forget where our roots are, and so when I moved out the country, that's where I went right away. Started raising plants and selling them to people because I wanted them to enjoy the beauty that many plants bring, plus the fruits and the vegetables. And in fact, we've gotten involved in a community market here locally so that our farmers don't have to go far distances to market their produce. They can do it now here locally, which is something relatively new to this area, but it seems to be a growing thing in the country in various locations, and we're hoping it continues. There's nothing quite, in my mind, as healthy as a tomato that was grown close by. Nothing against tomatoes from Mexico, but it's like the honey. You know, the honeys usually locally help prevent allergies, and far away honeys don't have that effect. So I'm convinced the local vegetables and fruits do a better job for us all too. But I just love this kind of stuff, and I like to pass my love on to other people and let them see all the kinds of things they can grow and make their yards beautiful, and how they can cut out the loop of these big businesses that want the country to just consume up all our resources. I believe in walking gentle on the earth and making sure that when I'm gone that I gave more than I took away. And that's not too easy to do nowadays. I do my best with it, and I think people enjoy my enthusiasm for plants. You know, I've got lots of these blackberries here, and golly, are they big and luscious come fall. There's nothing quite as satisfying as something fresh off the vine or the cane when it's fully ripe. It's one of the small joys I can remember from when I was a child with my grandfather taking me through the garden and that fresh, crunchy cucumber. Golly, I thought, this is wonderful. So it's fortunately something that's carried on with me through my adult life, and I've been able to pass it on to a lot of people. I spread joy with my plants, and I think I'm helping people out. I don't know at what level this is. You know, we all try to do our own little thing wherever we are, and I'm hoping it makes a difference.
Hey, man, I'm David, by the way. Nice to meet you, Jeff. Do you have a website
David.
or something that people can go to?
Our community market, which is now has a Facebook page, Dirty Farmer Community Market.
Awesome.
And we'd love people to come and look at it.
David, if you jot that down for me, we can add that over on our website.
Yeah, I definitely will do that. It was Dirty Farmer
Community Market.
Community Market.
And they're on Facebook.
And that's on Facebook at this point in time.
Oh, okay.
We just got it up and running, so we're still sort of new, and we haven't done all that we'd like to do. But you know, we've already got a few farmers coming in and then bringing their stuff in. So early in the season for a whole lot yet, but brand new strawberries just showed up the other day, and boy, they look big and juicy.
That's great. I think I found your site. Yeah, I see the Dirty Farmer on Facebook, and then the home page looks like the Dirty Farmers Community Market. It's .org. It's all one word, the Dirty Farmers Community Market.org.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. I was, David, we need to definitely put this up on our website. I mean, that would be a great inspiration, and hopefully they'll have a lot of tips and tricks to help other people learn, you know, what this is all about and how we do it. And, you know, this whole thing is about getting back to basics, getting back to Mother Earth, you know, and helping our brothers and sisters out there.
I'm Lala's friend. Okay. Are you the masseuse? Yes. Okay.
David, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, do you have any other questions you'd like to ask Jeff?
No, it sounds like he's real busy over there. We don't want to take him away from his customers. We just want to thank you for joining us here today and sharing your love of plants and growing. And I'm sure we'll have tons more questions for you if you ever had time to spend a little bit more time with us. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, I'd love to do it, too. I appreciate the opportunity to spread my joy.
Well, we will give Jeff our website, and maybe he can get involved with our forums and help teach people. You know, as we've just set up our own little swap shop on our website, so people can interact, buy, sell, trade, whatever they want without any middleman there. So, you know, maybe we can put some things in there that he might want to get out. Oh. So, all right. Yeah, well, go ahead, David. David?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, sorry about that. We had a motorcycle that come in. All right, well, Jeff, I want to thank you, and I'm very pleased to have met you, and hopefully we'll be able to be in touch, exchange some information, and possibly get you guys' website up and intermingling with Freedom Reigns.
That sounds really good. Appreciate the opportunity. You're all doing good work. I'm really glad to see this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank
Greatly
you.
appreciate it. Enjoy the day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, Dee, how are we doing?
Yes. Oh, we are doing good. We are actually going to walk back up to the other end, because we have a lady up here who makes her own yogurt and cheeses, and she has goat products as well as cow products, and very involved. Her daughter is actually president of the Aggies in our area in the local 4-H, of which my girls are now officially a part of as of this week. So they will be learning anything and everything to do with agriculture, from farming to weeding to raising every kind of animal that's on a farm. So we're really excited about that. And I am going to see if she is ready yet to interview. I think her name was June, but it's been a few hours since I talked to her.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you hold off on that for a couple of seconds as you're walking there? Let's play that song so we can take a short break here, because I need a restroom break myself while you're heading on down. This way you can see how busy June is. And we'll be right back in about 3.5 minutes. How's that?
Sounds awesome.
All right,
folks.
David. We'll be right back. Olokai. Actually, we're back live. How you doing, Deatra? What's happening down there?
Hey, David. Oh, this has just been the greatest event, I tell you. You know, well, before we went to break, I mentioned that we were going to be interviewing a young lady, but earlier this morning I had stated that we were hoping for someone that works with wild herbs to be here. Well, guess what, my dears? He is here, and he is online, and really excited. We've had to move around and change places because we've had a live local band show up to entertain us. So we are standing on the deck here overlooking the creek as it's running through. And it's just absolutely beautiful. You should see it, David. Just gorgeous. I'm going to take some pictures of this, too. But anyway, I want to go ahead, if you're ready, and introduce Sean. Sean, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, Sean. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Just enjoying the beautiful day and looking around at all the plants that are growing by the creek that we should be eating.
Amen. Sounds like a man after my own heart.
So, Sean, I know it hasn't been too long since you've gotten involved with wild herbs, and maybe we could just kind of start there. What was it that made you decide to get involved with wild herbs?
Well, the thing that got me into wild herbs was the lack of nutrition that we have in our local supermarkets. We've been depleted of all the nutritious things in the soil since the 30s. And, my wife has been real sick in the past and looking for ways to help her heal. Fibromyalgia is one of her big things. And we just found that the key to health is proper nutrition. Most people wait till they're sick and then they look for herbs that will heal them of a certain thing or ailment, and they really need to just back up and find what's already here and start with the proper eating, and then deal with what they need to after they've been on that for a while. So there's all kinds of things that grow all around us. I'm looking at, some poke salad, which you can eat. I'm looking at some greenbriers, and I'm looking at especially some dandelion and plantain, and even mullein, which can help you if you with a bronchial respiratory problem. So it's all around us, and we don't really need to get so caught up on exactly what the constituents in it are, because it's just full of good stuff. We need to learn how to identify and locate it, and that's what I do. Give wild edible herb walks with kids and other people, and just teach them how to locate it through their sight and through taste. And I think in hard times that would really come in handy.
Oh, yes, definitely. David, I'll let you go ahead and conduct the interview while I try to find a place to speak a wee bit quieter.
There you go. That's absolutely fantastic. It's very important, and it sounds like great work you're doing there, educating everyone about it. I always find that my hardest part as a newbie to a lot of the herbs and the wild edible weeds that I have, what we call weedy vegetables, is the identification part. Because there are certain things that, of course, we don't want to eat.
True.
So is there, do you have a website or something that you can share with us?
No, I don't have a website. No, I don't. I just do it here locally. We do have a local market that we have started in town where we're trying to give out fresh produce, and we'll be offering some wild herb edibles out of that soon. But no website. I'm big on keeping it local.
Amen. Absolutely.
Wow.
Is there a book that you may recommend to people for best to use for like plant identifications when they are out in the wild, for that may actually even be local to their area, because every area has different plants growing. So I'm sure, like I'm here in Florida, I'm sure I could find somewhere at my local bookstore. And what would I look for, in other words?
Well, Steve Brill is considered an expert in the area. He's got quite a few books out. There's, I know that most people are on the internet, and you can just Google some of his stuff on there, and he's got a lot of YouTube videos. And I find those more helpful because he'll take you on walks, and you can actually see it in its local surrounding. And most people, I feel, learn better by watching videos than reading a book. You can get overwhelmed by all the extra information. It's good information to know, but the plant world is so huge, you can't remember everything about every plant that there is.
Absolutely.
So if you've got some good guides, you can take them with you, but the best thing is just getting out there and get your boots on and getting that experience out in the woods and learning, what the stuff looks like in all different seasons. Sometimes if you catch it in the spring, it'll look totally different in the fall, and a lot of times they don't share that with you in those identification books.
Very true. Very true. There's nothing better than hands-on or having that video to look at and watch, so you can, you're positive. Because if you're not sure, you don't want to eat it. Make sure.
So just start out small.
That's right.
Just learn. Everybody knows surely what a dandelion is. There's plantain that grows everywhere. Plantain is considered one of only 100 plants that's excellent for blood poisoning. So we step on it every day.
Absolutely.
Or again, like David, he mentioned the mullein, like I did earlier. When looking down over the creek, there are tons of mullein just growing wild.
Right.
I would have plucked it up and thrown it away if I didn't know what it was, that it was something good, and really helped with all of my breathing problems. And like I said, it's done wonders with all of my family.
It's a huge fuzzy leaf. One thing that's kind of funny, people relate to humor and seem to remember, it's called the white man's toilet paper. If you're lost in the woods, you're looking for the biggest, softest leaf, there you go. Look for some mullein.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
Is there, for the newbie, is there a couple, 4 or 5, or maybe 3, herbs that you can recommend that everybody should start, try to get a hold of and find and start growing, even if they're in their house, inside, outdoors? It doesn't matter where they're, especially with herbs, they'll pretty much will grow anywhere. Is there a couple that you can say are must-have on hand?
I would say, oddly enough, I'd say that dandelion is one that everybody should grow. It tastes really bitter, but you can throw it in some salads and dress it up with a little dressing and skip the taste. Plantain is another one that naturally grows. And of course, everyone loves garlic for its medicinal properties, antibacterial. You can grow some garlic. Another plant that's not really, I guess, considered an herb would be, cayenne pepper. Really good for the heart. Open up blood vessels, increase the oxygen flow, in a person's body. Those are some that everybody can grow. There's tons of plants, and they're all beneficial, just in different ways. So if we just don't get caught up on which one is the best, and get a varied consumption of all these things, I think you'll find our health will be a whole lot better. It clears the mind. It even makes you happier. I know people don't realize that proper nutrition relieves depression.
Amen. Takes all that toxicity out of our body that we've been feeding it so poorly. Just like any good motor, if you don't put the right fuel in it, you're not going to get the right performance out of it. And the same thing goes with our body. It's an engine that needs to be fed properly, and with the proper nutrition, and the benefits are just too numerous to list. Herbs are a beautiful thing, whether it's medicinal or for cooking purposes. What people have to understand, like I had mentioned dandelions at the beginning of the show myself. It's something that I'm walking around the garden, I'll just pick a flower and start chewing on it. Eat me a flower. There's so many edibles. There's so many things that are edible that we bypass and we don't think of as food. Again, know what you're eating, what you're trying, because you don't want to eat something that is bad for you. So make sure you do have some sort of, book or way to get to an internet to look it up. Take a picture of it. Look it up. If you're not sure, post that picture and ask the question. Anybody can identify this.
And they can ask that question even in our forum, because I bet you I could probably talk Sean into helping me contribute some of that some of his knowledge to help so we don't have people getting sick because they're just out eating willy-nilly.
Right.
I'm sure that he'd be willing to do that.
I want to get some video stuff done in the future as well for our channel and for YouTube. And if there was any way, when you do one of your nature walks, if there was a way for us to maybe Deatra can get with you and follow you for that trip, and bring a video camera along, and this way, as you're talking to the kids and doing your your travel through the forest, if there's any way we can get that recorded, I think that'd be a very fantastic educational tool to get uploaded on the channel for everyone.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, I'm open to anything to help people learn. So love to do it.
Oh, fantastic.
All right. Well, then that's what we'll do, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Dee. If you can get together then and find out, when, of course, it works within both your guys' schedules to, go ahead and do that. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to that myself. I'm terrible. I'm the one, I'll go out there and I'll try everything and anything. One of these days I know I'm going to pick the wrong thing and throw it in my mouth, but hey, it's all good. That's how you learn.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Well, we're just about out of time, David, so I want to take a minute here and thank Sean for sharing with us. From the things I've heard, his family has really improved in health since he's gotten involved in the wild herbs, and I am so excited. I want to learn more. And so,
I appreciate both of you. Well, thank you.
Well, we will definitely exchange information, Sean, before we leave. And I want to thank you again for taking the time to share with us.
Great, guys. Thank you for the opportunity and looking forward to spending more time with you in the woods.
All right.
Me too. I'm excited.
Okay.
Oh, so am I, David. All right, David, do we have time for one more interview?
We got about 5 minutes, but yeah, not a problem. Even if we go into overtime, it'll still be recorded in the archives.
I just got to get myself moving and out the door. And
run, girl, run.
Oh, yeah, right. I've been on my feet since 5 o'clock this morning. We get to hear some of our we get to hear some of our local band here as we come outside again. Just little kids. Yep, these are just little bitty kids. They don't look to be more than maybe 12, 13 years old.
Oh, there you go. Maybe one of the local high school bands or something.
Yep, must be. All right. We are headed over here to Ruth, who is writing some information for some customers, and we will get her interviewing here in just a moment. So, yeah, we'll have to go over on this one, David.
Oh, not a problem. For our listeners who are currently listening live, we got about 4 minutes left of live airtime. You can catch the end of the show and broadcast for this evening in our archives at any time. Come on over to springintooaction.us, and you'll find all the links and the things we're talking about. Those photos should be uploaded as well. It shouldn't take us too long to get that stuff information up.
I should be able to get photos up tonight or tomorrow.
That'd be real fast.
Yeah. So we'll work on that, and we're just waiting on Ruth here. She's selling. It looks like she's got some goat milk. Oh, yummy, yummy. You know what kind of cheese you can make with goat's milk?
Actually, I know very little on the animal side of things. I worked with exotic wildlife with multiple zoos over my lifetime and have gotten the privilege to work with many different exotic animals that many people have never gotten up close with and may have only even seen at the zoos. But as far as like the making product with it, the milks and the cheeses and so on and so forth, we didn't do that kind of stuff at the zoo. So I know nothing. I know nothing when it comes to that kind of stuff. Well, then I guess
I'll have to put some stuff together because I'm learning all the cheese making and yogurt making and all that too. So as I learn, I'll start posting pictures and so on up with what I'm doing.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think you're going to have to handle this interview because you'll know a little bit more and know what you'll want to ask that you're currently doing.
Well, I know what I can see her. I can see her. So, okay. And this would be Ruth, that she's directing somebody at the moment, so hang on a minute.
No problem.
Yeah. Ruth, are you ready for that interview? I am. You are. All right, Ruth's taking a sip of water here.
Oh, are we doing this like right now? Like, okay.
All right. David, I'd like to introduce Ruth. She is here with a lot of milk products, goat milk, cheese, yogurt, all kinds of great stuff that she's making in hand, all organically. And I just want to let her tell you about all the things that she's involved with and how it helps the community and how it helps her family and all the wonderful stuff.
How you doing, Ruth?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great. Sounds like you guys are having a blast down there. I only wish I was closer. That I could have joined you guys myself. Deatra has been walking around and talking to everybody, and we're getting such great information. And I'm excited. I want to hear what you have for us today.
Well, we have not really a dairy farm, but it's a kind of a homestead farm up in Harriet. We do a farm stay, and kids and families come from all over the place and learn how to take care of the animals and where our food comes from, and we teach them everything we can pass along to them.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, Ruth, now your daughter is also the president of the Aggies, which is part of the 4-H'ers. I know we were talking about that a little bit ago and how involved you guys are with that, too. I've heard lots of stories, both pros and cons of 4-H. You know, I mean, for the last 2 years, I'm told, oh, no, if you don't belong to this perfect, just right clique, your kid can't go to 4-H. Well, of course, I found out over the last week that was all hogwash. So, you know, right. a lot of the people that are under that misconception, maybe you could share a little bit about what they do in the Aggies.
Oh, boy. Well, we the Aggies group, Gracie actually is involved in several 4-H groups. She's on the Searcy County 4-H Council and the Junior Fair Board, and then she's also on the Flint Rock Aggies where she's the president. And they have a lot of showing is their specialty. And then she's also on a homeschool group, 4-H, and they do a lot of field trips and educational stuff geared towards the kids and doing a lot of different activities and stuff like that that'll give them a skill. So she's in a variety of different things of the different groups, and each one kind of contributes differently to her experience.
Right. Let me ask you, you said that there's not just the regular 4-H, but one designated for homeschoolers. How available is that? Because I know a lot of our listeners are homeschoolers or they're getting ready to pull the kids out because of all the garbage in the school systems and so on. Yeah, so, I mean, is the homeschooling portion of 4-H really readily available in the majority of communities like just the straight 4-H?
Well, I'm not sure if outside of Searcy County if they have individual homeschool groups. This homeschool group though is in Searcy County, and we meet in Marshall, and we're open, for applications. They're accepting kids all the time, and we usually do a field trip once a month, and we have a meeting once a month. Our meetings are usually on Saturdays so that the dads can join too, and it's really a family group. We have a lot of people that have kids from way little all the way to high school, and a lot of the dads are involved and can really, be part of that. So, we have a lot of fun with them.
So it's not just a learning then for the kids, but also parents. Yeah,
and a lot of the families are also homesteaders too, which is kind of neat. They've got their farms, and if they don't, then the kids that don't live on a farm have the opportunity to come to these other farms when we do our activities and learn a whole lot. There's a lot of sharing that goes on. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is wonderful. That is just amazing. Because like I said, when I first started looking into 4-H, I was told that you have to be in this specific clique or you're not getting in. So it's really good to know that Searcy County at least is hopefully one of many, many, many that are open to all children. And I love the fact that they're having a program geared to homeschoolers.
It's been really wonderful for our family.
Mm-hmm. Now, I also kind of want to pick your brain a little bit because I see here that you have homemade yogurt and cheese and such. And that's something I am trying to learn how to do. And I would love to pick your brain a little bit. Maybe you could kind of just give us just a little bit of the benefits to start with between the organic homemade product in comparison to going to the supermarket and purchasing it.
Well, I think, I'll back up a little bit. Our initial reason that we started going with organic is my daughter couldn't drink any non-organic milk. She would react to it. And as long as she had organic milk, she was fine. So we started pulling her off of all the regular milk and only did organic. Well, when you start doing ice cream and yogurt and going through a couple of quarts of yogurt a week and milk and all that stuff, it starts getting really expensive. So we looked into it. We went and got our own Jersey cow, and she was organically raised, and we maintain our farm organically. We're not certified organic, but we will probably be going for our certified naturally maintained, I guess it's not really a licensure, but it's a certification.
Right.
And it's basically farms that do organic practices, but they're too small to really get the organic certification. So we did our own cow, and then we started with the goat's milk and then the cow's milk and started making our own yogurt and our own ice cream and cheeses, and, now pretty much I don't buy any dairy. And it's been absolutely wonderful. We also do probiotics. We make kefir and kombucha, and we don't get sick much either. So it's really, it's been very healthy for our family, and it's keeping us eating the things that are good for us. That we necessarily couldn't really afford to do on a regular basis, store-bought.
Right. Now, do you have a website or anything, that maybe you put this on, or?
Yes, we do. We have, let's see, our new website just went up, and it's www.dogwoodhills, with an S in it, BB for bed and breakfast.com. And we have a Facebook page on there that kind of keeps a running diary of what's going on the farm. We try and put pictures of the animals and the babies and what's happening. And the website sometimes has like our recipes and stuff like that on it. So we're trying to broaden that a little bit.
All right. Well, I would love to tie your website into our Spring into Action website.
Great.
Because this Spring into Action is specifically about independent living, and you can't get more independent living than what you're doing.
Well, we're working towards it. I mean, I think our total goal is sustainable living, and we're just trying to, show people that they can do this. It's not that hard. They just have to take the steps in that direction, and then it starts, just a little bit at a time. And we're a work in progress, but we like to share what we know.
Awesome. Well, maybe we could invite you to visit our website and join us and share in our forums some of the things that you're doing that could help some of our new beginners.
That'd
people
be
that
great.
are just now starting. I mean, that would be absolutely awesome. I mean, I'm a new beginner. Come on. I'll learn a lot.
Well, we are
and
too.
We're only a couple miles. I'm only a couple miles from you, by the way.
Oh, that's great. Great.
Yep.
So
this will be
definitely
great.
share knowledge.
Well, I got the cheese press. If you got the know-how, so I'll be
there
up there. And we'll take some pictures, maybe some video on how to do this stuff, and we'll get it up on the website.
Terrific. That sounds great.
All right. Well, we are already in overtime for this segment of Freedom Reigns Spring into Action. And so I want to thank you, Ruth, for spending some time with us and sharing with us. And it sounds just absolutely fabulous what you guys are doing. And I am actually going to come over and take a taste of some of your stuff that you brought.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Ruth, it's great. I have your website all booked up. It's marked here, and it's posted on in our chat room for those who may be looking forward already. Lots of pictures, lots of exciting information there. Please, everyone, go over and check it out when you have time, and we'll look forward to hearing more that's happening down on the farm in your area.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Hey, this has been an awesome day down here at Peyton Creek, just south of Leslie, Arkansas. Beautiful day. A little overcast, but that's okay. Keeps the sun down and the heat down a little. So we got a live band out here, a live local band, and looks like we got munchies out here too. And you know what? I think I got to go grab me a bite of something to eat. Everything looks so awesome.
Absolutely. It's great. You guys did a great job today. A lot of exciting information. We look forward to seeing all the links and pictures posted up on the board over on our website. When you get a chance, don't forget, please shoot on over to springintooaction.us and join the party. We have the live chat room, the swap rooms, and a whole bunch of exciting things happening. The only thing it's missing is you.
Yeah, exactly. And David, they can also access it through the original freedomreigns.us website too.
Absolutely, yeah. The links will bring you right to the other.
And guys, if you have anything you want to buy, sell, trade, or are looking for something, post it in our swap shop, and we'll try and hook you up.
Sounds good to me. All right, kiddo, I'm going to let you go. You go and enjoy the rest of the day over there at the meet.
I sure am.
We'll look forward to hearing from everybody on our next show. Well, it was such a great time, and we had such a party there. We're going to play to take us out for the evening. Wasn't that a party? And we look forward to hearing from everybody. Don't forget to comment on our YouTube channel once it gets posted on what you think about the show and how the site's coming along. We'll take any suggestions, and if I find any bugs, please let us know. A lot of it is in beta yet. So far we got them all worked out. So if you come across one, let us know so we can correct that problem. All right, Dancer, we're going to let you go, and we'll talk to you later.
David.
All right, enjoy.
Awesome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye, sweetheart.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, gang. Great interviews today. We learned a lot of information from all the different farmers down there at Arkansas and the different vendors that are hooked up. And this is only the second time they put this together, and it's growing. The first time was a smaller turnout. This time it's practically doubled in size, and I'm sure it will continue to do so. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We're always glad to hear from you. I'm your host, Doc, and we'll talk to you next time. Good night, everyone.
This meetup here in the Leslie, Arkansas area. We're just about 3 miles south of Leslie, Arkansas right now. And, we're right off the highway, right off the main highway. So, I haven't seen that, and it's still small. It's still small. But between last month and this month, I would say we have doubled in the number of people out here with various products. Be it plants, be it eggs, be it poultry, fowl. We got a miniature cow up here. And from what I know of miniature cows, they actually put out double the amount of milk per day than a full-size cow and only eat a quarter of what a full-size cow eats.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Of course, they're a little on the pricey side, so I don't have one yet. I want one.
I got a couple hundred animals at your place right now. You got to be running out of room soon.
Oh, I know. Oh, and then here we are, David. I'm at a booth where we have a couple here. They actually make rugs out of some of the things that you would think was just absolutely worthless. I mean, she's got some out here that she has made out of things such as old plastic bags, like your Walmart bags or your Dollar General bags or the kind you get at the grocery store. She's got some that were made out of old socks that, couldn't be worn anymore. She makes horse blankets too. I told her, I said, at the end of the day, I gotta get 3 of them for our horses, because I've never seen anything like this. I mean, this is a recycling like I have never seen before, and these are absolutely beautiful. I'm amazed.
It just takes a little know-how. If you're looking for ideas, get out there and visit your local farmers market, your botanical gardens. They often, especially on the weekends, they all have some sort of swap meet going on where you can get all the different distributors and farmers and ideas about these different systems and what other people are doing. Remember, if there's anything, no matter what it is, even old tires, I've seen.
Oh, you want to hear something cool, David? Sorry to interrupt you. Something else really cool. These rugs that this couple makes, some of them are out of old electric blankets too, and they've taken the wire out of the electric blanket and have actually made some of the sweetest, coolest bracelets and necklaces. I mean, this is amazing. Look at what we're saving our landfill from by doing this.
Oh, and if it turns into
polluting.
it becomes another useful product. And not only that, it's something you can do with your hands. It's something to get involved in, to get us away from the brainwashing televisions and in front of the other many electronic devices that surround our life today. It's all about getting back out into the community, getting together with families and friends and neighbors and seeing what other people are doing, getting involved with something, anything. It's for you. It's economical. When it comes to your garden especially, just I was starting to talk about the tires. Nothing is garbage. Nothing is wasted. I have an old broken down lawnmower, ride-on lawnmower. I'm in the process of converting that. You can take old tires. All right, you stack four or so tires. You stuff it with some hay, and you can grow potatoes in that. Okay, that could be your potato garden. The ride-on lawnmower I have, for example. The only thing that's wrong with it is the compression shaft went bad in it, and it cost too much money to replace the camshaft, the compression shaft. So it's easier. It's actually for a couple $100 more, I can buy a brand new unit. Now my big lot, because I'm growing so much, I no longer need my ride-on anyway. Well, I'm not going to put it in the landfill or put it out to the metal shop, which of course I can probably get a couple of dollars for because of the weight on it. I'm taking the hood apart. Anything that you could put soil in, anything that you can convert into artwork, all right, and a usable artwork. Anything that can hold soil, you can grow in. And a lot of them are.
You know what, David? Something else I've noticed is people have like old nightstands or old dressers and stuff. Oh my gosh, do you have any idea the planters that you could make out of those?
Oh, it's amazing, I'm
Just
sure.
Slap a coat of paint on it so that it's not an eyesore. Line it with whatever you want. Put your dirt in. Oh my gosh, I have seen some really absolutely gorgeous gardens. People actually growing their herbs, and lettuce, spinach, things like that in dressers, in old dressers.
Anything you can put soil in, you can grow in. That's the beauty about it. And it becomes something that decorates your garden, and it helps you. Now, there's another advantage to this. Now, it's not just, okay, well, I'm cluttering up on my yard with a bunch of junk. You got to realize there's a lot of products out there. I should say not products, but a lot of plants that are what they call aggressive. Okay, they'll take over an area. So you need to grow those type of things specifically in a confined space. Now, that confined space doesn't have to be a potter. It's anything that'll hold soil that you can grow these in. Go ahead.
Another thing, David, you were talking about your tires. You know how melon and cucumber and stuff like that will take over. If you put your heel inside the tire, lay your tire down, all you have to do is wrap the vine around the tire, and it will produce right there. And it stays contained in that area.
Absolutely.
You can do that with your potatoes, too. One of the things that I am experimenting with, I started last year, and that's actually growing potatoes in 5-gallon buckets.
Yep.
And I've got them. I was an idiot and I didn't dump the soil or nothing last year. I've got new potatoes already coming up for this year.
Well, I'll tell you another little trick. I tell you another little trick with your potatoes. We always find those, especially when you find the plastic drum ones. You got those 55-gallon kind of drums. They come in all kinds of material, metal, anything like that. But especially the plastic ones. You take the plastic ones and you cut it into 3 sections, okay? Now, the beauty thing about it is, one, that gives you 3 separate growing spaces. Now, you can leave the top and the bottom attached. Right? In other words, when you cut it in half, the top's going to have, a bottom to it. And the bottom's going to have, and the other part's and the middle part's going to be hollow. All right, you can see all the way through it. All right. You can either leave them that way, cut a couple of drain holes in there, or what I've found out is you use the center section. Okay, now you can even make it a bigger section if you want, but you give it, depending on the size of your 55-gallon drum, you take your center section and you plant your potatoes in that. All right. Now when it's ready to harvest, all you do is grab the edge, you lift that whole cone right up, and all your potatoes fall right out on the ground and pick them right up.
Yeah. Oh, I like that one, too. Now, one
real
thing,
easy. You don't have to dig for them or nothing. Just lift it up because it's a hollow tube. You lift it up, your soil lays all down, all your potatoes come out, and that's how you harvest your potatoes.
Well, again, we'll go back to the 5-gallon buckets. A lot of people aren't aware that if they go to their bigger bakeries, even the Walmart bakeries or any of your supermarket bakeries, they buy their icing in 1- and 5-gallon buckets. And they are more than happy in most places to give those away. And what I did, because I have my mother-in-law who lives with us, and she likes pretty things. She can't get around anymore. We're lucky to get her on the patio. So, anyways, I got some of those 5-gallon buckets, and I planted things like lavender because it flowers and it smells pretty. I've got some sage because, again, it smells pretty, just different herbs. And I went down to the Dollar Tree, and most people know all the rage now is decorating with duct tape. There is duct tape of everything. I mean, I got paint splatter. I got solid different colors like a pale pink and blues, and we got zebra stripes. And I put the duct tape around the buckets. And so each bucket is different, and it's colorful, but inside of those buckets that I got for free, I've put the herbs and stuff that we'll be using throughout the year.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful thing about it.
She's got pretty flowers, and she smells good.
Yep. And the other thing, too, you got to just ask. All right, people nowadays are afraid to ask. Just about anything can be utilized in your garden. Now, you're talking about duct tape. Now, here's another way. Duct tape, you got to buy it usually. Here's another way to pretty up your buckets. Go and get burlap bags. Now, there's companies all over the place. They get these burlap bags. They just throw them in the pile, and they get rid of them once a year. Well, take your burlap bag. Simply take your pot, put it inside the burlap bag, fold your burlap bag over the edges. Now you got a decorative pot. You know, they're colorful. They got the advertisements on them. And you got yourself a beautiful pot. So nothing goes to waste. And not only that, the burlap allows the moisture to travel as it needs to. You know, your water will flow out of it. It'll also help maintain your moisture. The biggest problem we have in the South is heat. Okay, so you want to make sure that especially if you have a black pot, all right, to cover that pot, get it covered with something, you know, a burlap bag, anything, tape. You don't ever want to use paint. You don't want to use anything with chemicals. Don't even use those ones that say, OLB, non-OLB, or whatever that, you know. Don't even use that stuff. Because that chemical is going to eventually get into your soil and get into your product, into whatever you're growing. The other big mistake a lot of farmers, beginners, gardeners make, they're worried about having a pretty garden, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that. But where your expense needs to go, just a simple formula, 90% of your finance goes into the soil. 10% goes into your product. The reason that is, if you don't have the proper soil mixture, the proper base, whatever you're trying to grow will not be very successful. You may get some product off it, but you can do a lot better.
Right.
Okay?
Oh,
and there's many different techniques to accomplish that. I want to go over a couple of things too. I have my list and my little shopping. I got so many shopping lists all over the place for my place here. Mind you, I only got a 1/4 acre of land. I don't have a lot of land, and my house is in the middle of this. Okay, and yet I'm utilizing like 90%.
Freedom Reigns Radio Network is not responsible for the views and opinions of the guests or hosts of this show. The views and opinions expressed in this show are strictly the views and opinions of guests or hosts of this program.
Welcome, everybody, to our special Saturday broadcast of Spring into Action. That's right, the truth shall set you free, and if you're not growing your own food, you can never be free. Just always remember that. We are broadcasting live today. We have Deatra out there on location. I'll put her on the air in just a second. She's out there in the Peyton Creek Farmers Meetup. If you're in that area, please go over there and check out all the vendors. She's going to be telling us what's going on, location, what's happening. We're going to interview a couple of the farmers and what kind of tricks of the trade, if you will. So exciting things happening here. Let me see if I can get back to the board. If I click the right spot, we'll be okay. Deatra, you there?
Hi, David. What a beautiful Saturday it is out here. Oh, my goodness. Right now we're somewhere in the mid-70s. A little overcast, but it's lovely, gorgeous. And there are so many people out here right now We've got agriculture of all sorts. We've got miniature cows, we have chickens, we have hatching eggs, we have eggs to eat. We've got homemade yogurts and cheeses from goats as well as Jersey cows. We've got local plants that, for instance, some grow in one part of town but don't grow in another part of the county. And so those are being traded, swapped, and sold. We've got people who are using their own goats to make soap. Oh, my gosh, and it is so soft and smooth. I washed my hands in some earlier. I bought a bar. Oh, my gosh, I tell you what, that is probably the best stuff I've ever used. Didn't even have to put lotion on afterwards. We got somebody out here that's got horse tack of all sorts, ranging from saddles to ropes to hats, homemade jams and jellies out here. And I talked to a few people who said they would be more than happy to come on and share what they're doing. So, I mean, this is just awesome. It is great. We've got the fodder system up here on display, and we'll be talking with Lawrence here at the bottom of the hour after our break to explain how that works and what it is. Just so much here. We got some beautiful little quail over here. We're going to have some pictures too, David. I'm taking pictures also.
Looking forward to seeing all those.
Oh, yeah, we've got pictures that we're taking, and we'll be posting them up in the forum. Not sure where. We're probably going to put a new category up that'll be local events. One of the people out here is actually involved over in another town, and they are actually doing produce only. Produce and crafts. Produce and crafts, because they're indoors. And it's whatever is in season at the time. And so, oh, what a pretty goat. We've got a little brown goat. I don't know my goats very well, David. This is just a little brown goat. He's just grazing away right here.
That's a little nasty right there.
He's a little...
We bought him here a couple weeks ago. See if I can get rid of him.
Aww.
I bought him to put out there with my ram, and he runs from her.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
We cleaned them up. They was real wonder when we got them.
Now, are you using actual worming medicine, or are you using, like, diatomaceous? Because diatomaceous is awesome for worming, and it's natural.
We just use that Bob and Mac marble.
Oh, okay. All right. Might want to look into the diatomaceous earth. Just put it in their feed. Oh, yeah. And we got more goats down here, David. Oh, these are pretty little gray goats, and they're mini goats. Aw. They've got long hair. They're gorgeous, David. And it looks like we have a nanny and two billies.
One billy and a wedding.
One billy.
One billy and a wedding.
And a wedding. Okay.
Gold one with the weather.
Weather, okay. All right. I'm still learning about goats, guys. We just got our first goat. We got a nanny goat the other day. She's had two kids that she had this year already, and just weaned them. So we're getting the privilege of enjoying fresh goat's milk. And I'm actually learning how to make my goat milk cheese and yogurt and stuff. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see. Oh, David, this one's right up your alley, honey.
What you got?
We have got an entire hydroponics setup out here. Yes, it is on display here. And these lovely people, according to the sign, are selling the whole setup for $200. This is nice. I like this. It's got the tanks. It's got everything in it, hon. Everything. That's right up your alley.
Yeah, absolutely. And for someone who's not so familiar with those particular systems, that is definitely the best way to go. If you can get somebody who's in your area. Now, of course, where Deatra's at right now might be a little bit distance for it and cost a little bit more to get it shipped out to you, even if that particular dealer is shipping. But look in your area if they're not. $200 is a great price, especially if it's coming with the tank, the pumps, all your piping, everything you need. You'd be surprised how little space you truly need that you can grow a ton of food in.
Honey, this person has this set up on just a little car trailer.
There you go. It doesn't take much at all.
Yeah, this trailer is not even wide enough really to hold a car, honestly. It's just a little flatbed. And I mean it's got everything there, hon. The whole shebang.
Yeah, there's another beautiful thing about all these kind of systems that we're going to be introducing you to today. You can make them as small or as large as you like, and you're only limited to your imagination, and that's the beautiful part about it. The system works the same way whether you're using it in a little 3-foot area or if you're using up 300 feet of area. It's the same process. You're just adding more piping and more water to your system. You may need a couple more tanks or something to that effect. The other real popular thing, I don't know if you found anybody yet around your location down there at that farmers meet. The next new and upcoming event that's been shared a lot down here in my area in Florida, especially in the southern area of Florida, at the botanical gardens and whatnot. They've all been having at least one or two set up so you can see what's going on with the different farmers. They have the vertical grow system.
I have not seen that yet. Now, David, keep in mind, this is only the second farmers